take a genuinely heroic, psychological, spiritual journey is always to turn aside from the clues that a culture gives you. The culture's always saying, well, you be like this person, you be like that person. The inner journey turns you back into yourself, says, who are you? That's a very, very different way of living a life. And increasingly our culture hardly knows about that journey.
A lot of people's growth has stopped at 19 or 20. Because the normal movement is that the hurts of life close us down and close us up. They stop trusting, they stop seeing, they stop believing, they stop hoping. But if you have a healthy spirituality, you know what to do with your pain. You know what to do with your suffering. And it becomes a great teacher. So instead of closing you down, in fact what it does is open you up and lead you to greater depth.
This descent into the dark night of the soul is always a part of discovering who you are, because it means that you have to discover that you're filled with a whole repertoire of human vices. They're all down there. You're selfish, you're also cruel, you're also fearful, you're also manipulative. All of us are also a factory of propaganda to reinforce our self-image. I'm cool, you know, I'm in charge, I'm not fearful, I'm kind. That's me. So when you go on the descent, you find out, all of them are there.
Surrendering to who you are is probably the most courageous thing a human being will ever do. Because to accept one's mystery, the massive contradictions we are, the confused absurdity that we are, to accept the mystery of ourself, to ourself, always feels like a loss of innocence.
And it's true, Americans don't like this. We think of that as negative. Carl Jung once said that the task of a life is not to be good, but to be real. And to own all of those things in myself.
I don't think we choose to go there. I think we'd sooner act out the culturally accepted norms than become who we are.
The journey of the spirit is, in that sense, always going to be a counter-cultural journey. You've got to dare to say, this is my life. Here's what I want. Here's what I'm going to try. And to interpret life through the eyes of your own experience. So each one of us goes in at the path where it's darkest for us.
You can only understand darkness in relationship to light. You can only understand chaos in relationship to order. And in fact, it's that very dance of being pulled into chaos that makes us seek a deeper, more meaningful order.
We don't believe America is a culture that would like to have an air-conditioned crucifixion, if any, you know. We want to suffer briefly, conveniently, and then take a pill. We don't believe the Buddhist thing, life is suffering. Suffering is for losers.
I do think healthy religion leads you into the horns of the dilemma of life and death. My great discouragement with so much of Western religion is I think it leads you into idealized, fabricated realities, feel-good experiences to get you through the day, so that in some ways even religion is helping you to avoid the great questions. The very things that look like they're going to destroy you are very often, quite often, most often, the very things that bring you to God.
You're going to feel fear. You're going to feel a lot of self-doubt. You're going to feel a lot of anxiety. You're going to be lost. Now, just remember that other people have reported that when they went on this journey, they also felt that. To know those things, in that sense, is to begin to have a map. Not a map of where you're going to come out, but a map that says, when you begin to feel these things, you're not crazy. That goes with the territory.
So we learn to breathe in the place where we thought we couldn't breathe. And that breath is the breath of God. You know it's not your breath. You know it came from some other place. And that's when God becomes real. And I don't think before. Up to that point, it's all words. But then you know there is something else. There is something more. I am not my own.